Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Manalapan High School's production of Radium Girls. Oh, we're all good, gentlemen? All right. My name is Amanda Lagarado, and I am the proud director of this production, so I thank you all for being here this afternoon. Before we begin, we'd like to share a few reminders so that we all have the best experience. First, please silence all cell phones at this time. Next, please refrain from flash photography or recording at any time. And last, if you need to step out for any reason, please do so between scenes. You'll know that because there'll be a giant clock and it will be in the dark. Last, we invite you to immerse yourself in this beautiful and powerful story. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Radium Girls.
So much light, daylight, all the time, and on sunny days, it was like you were standing outside. It was that bright.
That surprised you, Grace?
It was a factory. I thought it'd be dark and dirty.
Then why go to work there?
I was 15. It was time I paid my own way.
Pay your own way. What about school?
Oh, I didn't miss it so much. The girls were oh so nice, and the work wasn't too hard. Not like factory work, really. It was more like art, painting those dials. We were artists.
I'm not really the one you should be talking to. Vaughn Sashaki, he's the one you should talk to.
Now, Arthur, you know he won't talk to us.
It was his process.
What about that process? You used a powder.
We used a powder. The girls mixed it with an adhesive to make the paint. And that business with the brushes, I didn't invent that. They were doing that when I started there.
But you knew about it.
We all knew about it. We just didn't realize what it meant.
Irene? In here! Irene, what are you doing?
Shut the door!
Amalia's working inspection today.
Is that bad?
Not for us.
She's gonna be sitting in this room all day by herself in the dark, checking dials.
Poor thing.
Poor thing.
So we're gonna give her a little surprise.
Boo! Like the Cheshire Cat.
Won't that make her mad?
Let her get mad.
That's half the fun.
I don't want to make her mad.
Do you have to be that way about everything?
What way?
Your cheeks, Grace. Put them on your cheeks.
Ain't like Amalia, don't deserve it. She paints more dials than any girl on the floor and can't be bothered to talk to nobody either. You say, Amalia, what's new? And she just looks at you funny.
I don't think she could speak much English.
Wouldn't kill her to smile, would it?
Oh, she's coming.
Get the light.
Boo!
Oops.
Mrs. McNeil.
Painting your faces? Have you gone off your mind?
It's just a joke.
Just a joke? A joke can lose a girl her job.
Now, Miss McNeil, I'm sure that's not necessary.
I don't tolerate no foolishness, doctor.
Yeah, foolishness we don't want, do we? Now, Mr. Reader, this is the inspection room. All the dials come here that are painted, and these are the girls that on the floor should be working. Girls, this is Mr. Reader, my new vice president and your new plant manager.
And I was just telling Mr. Reader what a bunch of lovely girls we have here. I'm sure right now he thinks I'm halfway out of my mind.
Mr. Reader, perhaps you have some words for the girls. Miss McNeil.
Well, girls, this paint you've been playing with, it's very expensive. You realize this. It takes several tons of ore to produce a single gram of radium. That's a lot of hard work. Hard work for the men in the extraction plants. But they do this work gladly. You understand why they work so hard, what we're all working for.
The war?
That's right, the war. The dials you paint save lives, girls. Our boys in the field depend on them to read in the dark. No mistaking what they see. Otherwise, some of those boys won't be coming home. So, girls, if you play around and don't take the work seriously, well, you're playing into the hands of the Kaiser, and we don't want that, do we?
No,
Oh, no.
sir.
So, let's get back to work now and leave the tomfoolery to home.
Mr. Reader, I wanted to say I'm sorry. I won't do nothing like that again.
Well, dear, just keep this in mind. If you do right by us, we'll do right by you.
May 17th, 1921. Nancy Jane Harlan here for the New York Graphic, the Graphic's only girl reporter.
Jack Youngwood here reporting for the Newark Ledger. Newark's first source for news.
Madame Marie Curie, eminent French scientist, embarks on a whistle-stop tour across the United States.
First stop, New York City, where she's greeted by an enthusiastic crowd of well-wishers.
The High Priestess of Science is headed straight to Washington to receive 1 gram of radium, valued at $100,000.
Purchased for her by the members of the Marie Curie Radium Club, an association of 100,000 American women.
Who each gave $1 to support humanitarian research of radium.
Grace,
Oh, here! Irene, look! I got my certificate. Member, Marie Curie Radium Club.
you gave $1?
It's all for science.
Science. What about my room and board?
Oh, look, here she comes!
Welcome all. Welcome all. I must ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, please limit your questions. Madame Curie is about to embark on an exhaustive tour of the country, and she's under strict doctor's orders to rest. Although in a typical fashion of a scientist who can only think of her research, her life's work, she has refused to rest.
Madam Curie, what will you do with the radium?
Huh?
What will you do with the radium?
I will continue my experiments to find better methods for the treatment of the cancer.
Is radium a cure for all cancer?
Cure for the cancer? Yes, cure for the cancer. That is so. It has already cured all kinds of the cancer.
But some doctors dispute that.
Then they do not understand the method. There is no question. Radium will cure the cancer.
Madame Curie.
Madam Curie.
Madame Curie, how do you devote your life to both science and to your children?
It has not been easy. But my daughters share my gratitude to the American woman for their interest in science and my work. I am most grateful.
Madam Curie.
Madame Curie.
Madam Curie.
No more questions. Madame Curie is on a tight schedule. Miss Andrew Carnegie has sent a car and will personally escort Dr. Curie, as will I, to Washington, where President Harding will present the gift of 1 gram of radium.
You see that, Charlie? That is a marketing opportunity. Let's send her one of our customers' watches, courtesy of the United States Radium Corporation.
We'll need a press release.
Radium isn't just for scientists to study. The average American can share in its glory every night. Luminous watches, luminous clocks. Anyone who thinks these are just novelties, consider all the other advances made in the past 50 years. The electric light, the telegraph,
The telephone.
the automobile. Inventions all once dismissed as novelties, as toys.
Are now essentials to modern life. Got it. That ought to sell some watches.
Watches, absolutely. But that's not where the growth is now, Charlie. You heard the lady. It's the medical market.
And Standard Chemical owns it.
Only because Von Sashaki lets them take it. But if we wanted to, we could get half their business. It's just a matter of positioning.
Standard Chemical publishes its own journal, sends it out monthly to 12,000 doctors. We could do something similar.
Something scholarly. That the doctors would respect.
A bibliography listing every article ever published on radium.
But with capsule reports that save the doctors time, they can get the information, find it fast.
And have us to thank for it.
We'll send it to every doctor in the U.S. Radium Society.
Every doctor in the American Medical Association.
That's the spirit, Charlie. Advertising. That's the way of the future. It's not just the product, it's the way you promote it.
You should have seen it, Grace. The church was filled with flowers, lilies, carnations, orchids.
They weren't orchids.
They were orchids, Irene.
Irises.
Orchids. I know an orchid when I see one. Purple orchids. Oh, and that smell. What was that smell? It was like...
Like flowers?
No. It was like heaven. I was gonna say, it was like heaven.
Like heaven? Captain, it was just a funeral. Made out like it was some Valentino painting.
It wasn't just a funeral. It was Amalia's, and it was beautiful. You should have seen it. The church was like the botanical gardens, and a company sent a big spray of flowers too. Carnations.
Mums.
Yellow carnations.
Those were mums.
Well, it sounds like a nice service anyhow.
Girls, the whistle's already gone. Now then, I received new instructions for this day. We're going back to the old way of pointing the brushes. We're losing too much paint in the cloth.
But
Yes, Grace? Something you wish to say?
Dr. Von Sashaki said not to do that. He said it's unsanitary.
Unsanitary? Well, I could hardly believe he says such a thing. We've been doing this for as long as I've been here. You must have misunderstood him.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not getting new brushes until you're out with the old. And they gotta be so bad you don't get a point no more.
You can't make a quarter like that.
Well, you do your best, since then I have my instructions.
I need a new brush.
It's not for us to be asking questions, is it? It's for us to be doing the work.
I have my instructions, girls. I have my instructions.
Here's an instruction for you, McNeil. Let some of the starch out of your corset.
Was she at the service?
McNeil, are you kidding? You'd think she'd cross the street for her own mother.
Most everybody else was, though. You was about the only girl on the floor who wasn't there.
Well, I wanted to come, but I had to help Ma watch the little ones.
You could have brought them.
All 7.
Well, if it were me, I'd try to get there.
Oh, just lay off. Grace feels as bad as it is.
Were there many of the fellas there?
Oh, yeah, lots of fellas from downstairs. Dr. Roth from the front office. Dr. Von Shashaki was there. Oh, and Mr. Reeder.
And he left early.
So, he was there all the same. Oh, and Grace, you know that fella from Crystallizing? What's his name? The one with the red hair. He was there. You know who I mean?
Oh, the tall one with the freckles.
Oh, that's right. Who snaps his fingers all the time.
George.
Jerry?
I think it was George.
No, it's Jerry. Jerry Mallon. He's the one who was always talking to Amalia in the day room.
That's right. Oh, and Grace, when the mass is over, he goes over to the coffin, and he goes like this, he goes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Really.
Oh, for pity's sakes.
Well, he did. Nobody could believe it.
So what if he did?
So what? He was in love with her. That's so what? Don't you think so, Grace?
Well, he had to be if he did that.
And can you imagine if he loved her and he didn't tell her, could never bring himself to say, because she was so beautiful and he was so shy. And now it's too late. It's too late. Their love is forever thwarted. He didn't tell her. He'll never get a chance ever again.
Poor Amalia.
Poor Amalia.
Poor kid.
Her family took it awful bad, Grace. Albina, Kinta, everyone. Every one of them crying. Even their father crying so bad. I never saw a man cry before. And not just like that, just bawling like a baby.
And you know why, too.
Because their daughter had died.
What she died from.
Irene, don't go spreading stories.
It's not a story. Albina told us. No reason Grace shouldn't know.
Know what? Know what? Amalia?
Ain't it awful? Albina said her father's fit to be tied. 6 girls at home and ain't none of them going to a dance. Ever again.
All because Amalia upped and died from syphilis.
Shh.
What? I can't help it if that's what she died from.
You don't know that for sure.
It's on the death certificate.
Anemia and complications from syphilis.
Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe the doctor got it wrong.
Come on.
He could have got it wrong. Doctors are wrong sometimes.
That's true.
Well, what's Mama got to do with it?
Irene, don't you remember? Up to the day Aunt Ivy died, doctor said she would be fine. Said, take a cup of tea, get a good night's rest, and 2 days later, he was taking her to the Rosedale Cemetery.
Girls, your attention please. The gentlemen are here to make an announcement.
Thank you, Mrs. McNeil. Girls, we are here to put a few rumors to rest.
And to explain some changes, yeah?
Yes, as some of you may have heard by now, Dr. Von Sashaki is stepping down, and he wanted to take this opportunity
To make with goodbye, when Mr. Reader has kindly consented. Some of you I have known since you were little girls, coming here during the war, working so hard, day after day at the bench, 200, 300, some of you 500 dials a day. So excited to be part of our work here. For in this company I start, in my very own kitchen, mixing up the paints, I knew I had found something miraculous, something to make life better, easier. And now, what do I read? More and more uses there are for the radium, more than I dreamed possible.
Thank you, doctor.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Now, girls, the doctor is a busy man and must be on his way. So, let's wish him the best of luck in his new business ventures. Very good, then,
And
girls.
Mr. Reader, let us good luck wish to you also. To the plate, he steps up as your new company manager. Our congratulations to you.
Thank you.
When Mr. Reader 4 years ago came to our company, in him I saw a man of great enterprise
Thank you.
and great ambition.
Yes,
Little did I guess the direction his ambition would take. But one of the things that makes this country great is the opportunities it presents to a young man and his friends.
And so, girls-
ladies, let us wish Mr. Reader the very best in the new direction he intends this company to take.
New direction?
With a slowdown in dial
Now,
painting
Doctor-
and business moving into the medical market, there's going to be lots of changes, yeah?
What the doctor is referring to, some of our larger customers are setting up their own dial painting studios.
Which means less work for our girls here.
In the short run, things may be slower here. However, the Waterbury Clock Company in Connecticut will need help setting up its new studio. We were intending to make an announcement next week. We'll make it now. Mrs. McNeil?
Well, we'll be sending some of you ladies to go on up there.
The work is supervisory in nature, which means more pay. You have some girls in mind?
Yes, Louise Collin was one, Sarah Dutch, Lena McCarthy, and Catherine Schwab. I have the entire list posted downstairs. I'll post it today.
Fine. There you have it, girls. As we are on the clock, we'll leave you to work.
Thank you, ladies. My best wishes to you.
That's back to work with you girls.
Are you gonna do it, Catherine? Are you gonna go?
Would you, Grace? Would you go to Connecticut?
I don't know. It's awful far from home, and Tommy would have a fit.
Come on, Grace. It'll be fun. Won't it be fun? Irene? Irene?
Irene, honey, you all right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't I be? What?
Your mouth. It's bleeding.
$35 a week and she quits the place.
More to life than money.
That's what you say when you're young, Tom. But when you and Grace get to be my age, with a house and kids under your foot, you'll thank God for any penny you put by.
We got money put by.
Oh yeah? How much?
Enough to get married on.
Don't take much to get married on. Do you have enough to stay married on?
You let us get married, we'll find out.
You still eating, Tommy?
It's good.
You're gonna get fat.
Gotta keep up his strength. He works hard for his money.
Don't start, Ma.
I didn't say nothing. It was your father who hit the roof over it.
He didn't hit no roof.
You should have seen the man's face, Tom, when he found out Grace wasn't working at the radium plant no more. Most girls would give their right arm for a job like that. Good work, easy money, nice-looking fellows around the plant.
You didn't tell me about them, Grace.
Wasn't many of them. Hardly seem worth the mention.
And she leaves it all behind. for reasons unknown. I'm tired of it up there, she says. Are you tired about the paycheck? I says, who needs me a paycheck? I got me a boyfriend to take me out on Saturdays.
Oh, she said that.
Oh, you know I didn't. And for your information, I got a job. I started the bank on Monday.
Oh yeah, the bank? And what's the pay?
Enough.
Enough. Always enough. You want to know what that means, Tom? It doesn't pay as close to what it pays at the radium plant.
It's office work.
Office work? Well, I guess that means you'll be spending more money on clothes.
Boy, she is really steamed at you.
I don't see what difference it makes so long as I'm working somewheres.
Don't make no difference to me. Just thought you liked it up there.
Sure, I liked it. I worked there for 4 years.
So? I've been delivering mail almost 8 years. I plan to keep on delivering mail another 20 or 30, if I'm lucky. Nothing like steady work and a good pension to help you sleep at night.
I don't have a pension and I sleep just fine.
I bet you do. How come you quit, Grace?
Well, work is slow. And besides, since Irene left, it's just not as much fun. And wouldn't you rather have a girlfriend who works in a bank?
Not as much as I'd like to have a wife who don't work anywhere.
Close your eyes, I got a surprise.
Yeah, want me to draw the shades?
Not that kind of surprise, close your eyes. Now look.
Wallpaper.
For the baby's room.
The baby's room? You want to kiss me and you're talking about babies?
There's gonna be babies eventually, Tommy.
Well, sure, but you know, Grace, most girls, they get married before they start decorating the nursery.
Plan ahead for once, pick one.
They're both the same.
No, they're not. This one has big flowers and this one has little flowers. So pick one.
Is some kind of test?
No, it's just wallpaper.
It is some kind of test.
Just pick one.
That one.
Really?
The other one, then.
Which do you like, though?
They're both nice.
That one's nice, don't you think?
Then that one.
But I want you to like it, too.
If you like it, I like it. Wallpaper's wallpaper.
You gotta pick something you could stand to look at for 20 years.
Yeah, same way you pick women.
Keep it up, smarty pants. You won't ever get that kiss.
All right. That one. That one, hands down.
I like it, too. A nice neutral yellow, go with either a boy or a girl's room. And in the meantime, we could use the room for other things.
Yeah, like what?
Like a painting studio, maybe.
A painting studio, maybe. Didn't you get enough painting at work?
Not the kind I wanted to do, Tommy. I used to paint watercolors at school. And ever since I went to work, I just don't got no time. Or with helping Ma and watching the kids. Once we get married, I just want some time, just a little time to myself. So I can do watercolors or oils maybe. Maybe portraits in oil. I could paint your picture if you like.
Yeah, why not? Paint a big picture of me hanging in the outhouse. All our friends will come around to use the can so they can look at it.
Oh, the way you talk
Oh,
sometimes.
Grace, you want to paint pictures. I ain't gonna stop you.
You say that now, but once we're married, you'll be changing your tune.
Sure, I'll be whistling Dixie.
Wait till you come home some night. Some Christmas, maybe, when every person's on your route had 3 times the mail, and some dog took after you, and some old lady kept you waiting on her stoop telling you all about her grandchildren, and you just don't got the heart to tell you don't got the time. I know you. So you come home all late and cranky, besides, hungry, wanting your dinner, and there I am in the kitchen with my easel set up, my drop cloth on the floor, and my paints all over the kitchen table. And your dinner? Nowhere in sight. What would you say then?
Better be a picture of me you're painting.
I know what you say. Where's my dinner? That's what you say. Where's my dinner?
Well, sure, but I'd still admire the painting. Just want to look at it on a full stomach is all. So how'd I do? Pick the right wallpaper?
I don't know. Maybe I'll look at stripes.
Oh, stripes, polka dots, I don't care. Let's just get married, Grace. You're plenty old enough. Tell your mom we ain't waiting no more. We'll just run off.
Tommy, we are not running off. We're going to do it right. A nice church wedding with flowers and music, and then a week at the seashore, just us. And then after that, we get set up in our own place. You'll see. It'll be worth the wait. Ow!
Your mouth hurt you?
Yeah, the dentist wants to pull another tooth in the back.
Well, what's a tooth?
Hazel Cuser. Any connection to the others?
Only by virtue of employment.
Except she's got a good lawyer.
Knows how to write a good letter anyway, that lawyer.
And she no longer works here.
Left 6 months ago.
This makes 4 now.
3.
4 if you count the Maggio girl.
I wouldn't include her.
She worked here.
She also worked other places, and what she died from, you couldn't pick up here. At least, I don't think you can.
That's not funny, Charlie. Besides, that's just idle talk.
In my experience, there's typically something to the idle talk when it comes to girls like that.
From a large family, wasn't she?
Ugh, Italians, the conditions they live in 10, 12 people in 3 rooms. It's a wonder they don't all die of one infection or another.
3 then. And how many dead?
Only Miss Maggio, but I haven't heard from her people.
It's too late for them anyway. The statute of limitations is 2 years. But Hazel Cuser is another story. She's in a position to make some real trouble now.
And all the time I've been here, no one has so much as slipped on the floor. And now this.
We're talking about 4 girls out of how many hundreds that we've employed?
600, 700 over the years.
And some of them were sick when they got here. That one girl you hired was a complete cripple. Couldn't even climb up the stairs. Her father carried her up to the studio every morning.
It didn't make a difference to me how she got up the stairs. She was a fast worker and a very sweet little girl.
But she was in poor health.
She needed the work.
Arthur, Charlie,
And not just for the money, to feel productive, to have a purpose. That's what work does, Charlie. It gives us a purpose. I don't see any reason why we should stop hiring girls like that.
When they get sick and try blaming us for it, you might want to reconsider that policy.
Let's see what Dr. Drinker has to say.
Dr. Drinker?
Some professor at the Harvard School of Industrial Hygiene.
He chairs the department, and he's agreed to take a look at our operations.
Don't you think we're jumping the gun a bit, hiring him?
We've had 6 girls quit this week, and Mrs. McNeil tells me there could be more.
Girls come and go all the time.
It's never been like this. These girls are terrified. We've got to do something to calm them.
And letting Drinker examine them? That sounds to me like a recipe for mass hysteria.
We'll tell them it's a routine physical. Edward,
Companies give physicals all the time.
then Drinker will start next month.
In the meantime, I recommend we make an offer to Miss Cuser.
Settle?
There's no proof or problems are connected to us.
If she sues, believe me, you won't like the publicity it brings, and neither will our investors.
You think this will affect the stock offering?
Don't you?
Wonderful. We'll open at 30 and close at 10.
Or not open at all.
But if we give this girl something, that will keep her quiet?
It would be a condition of the settlement.
Maybe we better do it.
Suppose this lawyer has a racket going. He finds sick girls and talks them into making suits. Then we reward him for his larceny.
Unless Miss Cuser truly believes she got sick here.
Could be like Charlie said, from a large immigrant family, not well educated, not a lot of resources.
A few $100s would make a big difference to a girl like that.
Certainly, pay a few doctor's bills, buy some medicine. From the sound of that letter, I don't think she has long to live anyway.
So it would be a gesture of decency then.
Exactly.
What do you think we should offer?
March 24th, 1924. Jack Youngwood here for the Newark Ledger.
Nancy and Harm for the New York Graphic, the Graphic's only girl reporter.
Could radium water pose a cure for crippling arthritis? Scientific studies suggest a connection.
Dateline Orange, New Jersey. Radium water products offer a miracle cure for crippling arthritis.
Some patients report a significant abatement in their symptoms.
Mrs. Jeremy Michaels of the Bronx tells her story on how radium water transformed her life.
My pain got so bad I could hardly bend over.
While others reported only mild relief.
This poor, brave young woman couldn't even bend down to kiss her young ones goodnight.
And I got 3. Let me tell you, they are a handful.
Dr. Harrison Martland, chief medical examiner of Essex County, commented on the study.
Preliminary, at best.
Your recommendations, Dr. Martland?
I advise further study, further study.
Then Mrs. Michaels tried Radathor.
They said it would help my rheumatism, so I drank a bottle every day for a month. It wasn't cheap, but I was desperate.
The sample size is questionably small.
Well, first off, I felt like I was hit by a bolt of lightning. It was that powerful. Now I drink a bottle every day a week just to maintain my health. I hang the laundry and scrub the kitchen floor the way I've always done.
Dr. William J.A. Bailey of Orange, inventor of Radathor, reports strong demand for his product.
Dr. William Bailey of Orange announces sales of Radathor exceed 100,000 cases worldwide.
Radioactivity is one of the most remarkable agents in medical science. I drink Radathor myself, and I can vouch for its power.
A bottle a day?
At $1 a bottle?
Worth every penny.
Yes, indeed. I myself was the picture of lethargy before I discovered the amazing vitalizing qualities of radium water. Now look at me. I'm nearly 50 years old, and I have the energy of a man in his 30s.
You rather look like a man in his 30s.
Well, thanks.
A testament to the tonic's potency.
Or to the seller's creativity.
Radathor, it is perpetual sunshine.
And a perpetual money machine for its inventor.
Is there no end to what science can do?
Maybe we should have made an appointment.
Don't need no appointment.
But it's a busy place, Catherine. And if you don't have an appointment, maybe you should make one.
I shouldn't need no appointment for this.
I'm sorry. I didn't find anything under Schwab.
No, it's under Rudolph.
Rudolph.
The girl I'm asking about, Irene Rudolph.
Did she file the complaint?
No, her dentist did.
The dentist.
Irene's dentist, Dr. Neff, he said she might have Fossey jaw, and he was going to complain to the health department about it. But when I asked him, he said he hadn't heard nothing. And it's been more than 6 months now.
Fossey jaw, you say?
Yes.
Catherine, it could be like your doctor said, a blood infection.
Yeah, but what gave it to her? That's the thing. What was it from?
From dirt? You get infections from dirt.
From dirt? Her face puffed up like a pumpkin. Her jaw rotted so bad she couldn't eat nothing. You think you get something like that from a little dirt? They're telling everybody it's radium in that plate, but it's really phosphorus that makes it glow.
Catherine, you can't really believe that.
You saw her, Grace.
Catherine, if it's like you say, they never let you work up there in the first place.
Sure, they just shut it down.
Shut it down. Who? Who's going to shut it down?
I don't know, the county.
Honestly, Grace, you're such a ninny.
Hey,
How are they going to shut it down if they don't know about it? Ever think of
now
that?
come on.
It's all right, Tommy.
She's got no business talking to you that way.
She's just upset.
Oh, upset. She's gone around the bend. She probably thinks they're dumping arsenic in the drinking water now. Next, it'll be they're kidnapping babies and using them to stoke the furnace.
Go ahead and laugh. You won't laugh so hard when it's you coming in here next 6 months asking after
Oh,
Grace.
for crying out loud.
Catherine, it's just a toothache.
You wait, Grace. You wait. You'll wake up one morning, your gums hurting so bad you won't be able to open your mouth. So sick and weak you won't be able to stand up.
Stop
the
it,
pain so
Catherine.
bad you won't be able to sleep. And your face so swollen you won't be able to stand aside
I
yourself.
said stop it. Grace is fine. Right, Gracie?
Irene Rudolph?
Yes, that's it.
She worked at the radium plant.
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing.
Huh?
The state is in full compliance with all the health and labor regulations. They ordered an analysis of the paint.
No, let me see that.
Miss, really?
Who's Miss Young?
That's the health officer, miss.
Paint is a harmless compound of radium and zinc.
As I was saying, the analysis shows that there's no phosphorus in the paint. There's no phosphorus anywhere in the plant.
There. You see, Catherine?
Miss Young toured the plant herself. She found nothing amiss. I'm sorry.
Guess that means we can get some lunch then.
I'm going to file another complaint.
They already did an investigation.
I want to file another
Oh,
complaint.
brother.
Catherine, these people, they're awful busy here.
I want to file another complaint.
I just don't see what good this is going to do, making such a fuss this way.
Grace. 3 surgeries. And they wanted to cut her again. She finally said no. She knew. What was left of her jaw rotted so bad. And that smell, it was terrible. And Grace, the worst of it is, I couldn't even look at her. Irene, so afraid of being alone. But I left her alone. When she died, it was the middle of the night. And nobody was with her.
Can I have another form? My friend would like to file another complaint.
Another complaint. Is the girl still sick?
No. She died.
Wait right here.
Harriet? Harriet, come down from that tree at once.
I'm waiting for Papa.
Fine, when he gets here, I'll set him up after you.
Oh, there he is. Papa! Papa!
Harriet!
Harriet, come down at once.
Papa, I can see clear to the church.
Ha 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 ha. Can you? Do you see your grandfather?
No, but I see the schoolhouse.
You think this is funny?
She's enjoying herself.
Harriet!
Tell you what, if she has no one to shout to, she won't shout.
They can hear her all over the neighborhood.
Can they?
When she comes down, I want you to speak to her.
She's 9 years old, Diane.
I'm trying to raise a daughter, not a son.
Time is on your side. In another year or two, she'll lose all interest in trees and develop a fascination with boys.
That's supposed to scare me?
And when that day comes, you'll be frantic because she no longer wants to climb trees.
What's that?
Something to give you vitality.
You think I need vitality?
That's what it says in the bottle.
Is it pure?
We're a supplier. Want to try it?
Well, if it'll give me vitality, how could I refuse? Your father came by to see me today.
Another hard luck case?
4 children at home, all under the age of 6.
Let me guess. Wife in the hospital with cancer.
Yes.
And the husband's been laid off from, let's see, the brickyard.
Yes.
Through no fault of his own.
How did you know?
Dad came by to see me yesterday. It's never enough with him just to have ordinary ambitions. You have to have a mission in life.
And you do.
No, I have a business plan.
You can't tell me you wouldn't help this man if you could.
If I could, but I can't give him a job that doesn't exist.
What about Dan Lyman?
Dan?
Or maybe he could use some help.
In the laboratory? Dan needs trained technicians, not a bricklayer. Why don't you send him to Mrs. Middleton? Don't you women have a social club for things like this?
You mean the Women's Club Civics Committee?
Right.
Well, yes, the club takes an interest in such cases, but we're not an employment service either, which is why I thought that you could help him.
Oh, you do love being married to the company president.
It has its advantages.
Ever think of trading it in?
Do you?
I got my shoes shined this morning, and as I sat there and watched the boy work, I thought, this is quite an enterprise. The work walks in, the work walks out. No inventory, no warehouse, no health inspectors, no stock price.
And you'll trade all of it in for your own shoe shine stand?
Fewer headaches that way.
So you're in one of those moods again. What was it this time? It can't be the market. It went up today.
Oh, now you're reading the financial pages.
I have to entertain myself somehow. So, what happened today? You're being very strange.
Am I? I'm sorry.
You can tell me, you know.
Nothing to tell. Really, this is going to be our best year ever.
So it's the prospect of success that you find so disheartening?
I'll get my checkbook.
What for?
Your bricklayer.
Artie, he needs a job, not charity. What is it your father says? A working man needs to work. It wears on his soul.
It wears on his soul not to work. Well, if it's a matter of his soul, that's different. All right, I'll have him talk to Dan.
Artie,
But I make no promises, Diane.
no promises.
To your health.
How long you had this drainage?
A week or two. Hurt some awful, Dr. Neff.
Anything else bothering you?
Back hurts some too.
You're back now. You seen your regular doctor?
He says it's nerves.
Nerves.
About my wedding and all.
This ain't no case of nerves. Hope you told him that.
What do you think?
I think you better schedule that surgery.
Couldn't we put it off till after my wedding?
Put off that surgery, there won't be no wedding.
What?
Miss Fryer, I want you to listen to me. Your jawbone's decaying. That's the black pus oozing out of your gums. It's the bone itself.
That's impossible.
To Mr. Arthur Reeder, U.S. Radium Corporation, Dr. Cecile Drinker, Harvard University, encloses our report.
Finally!
We believe the trouble in your plant is due to the radium.
Radium?
It can't be as bad as all that.
This can't be.
Put off that surgery, you will develop a septic condition. It could be fatal.
The blood changes in your employees can be explained on no other grounds.
Everything I got, I saved for my wedding.
Photographic films carried by employees show heavy fogging.
Well, I got a suggestion for you.
And we suspect high levels of gamma radiation throughout the plant.
Go to the radium plant and explain your situation.
Go to the company?
We realize no proof can be offered at present.
Once they see what kind of shape you're in,
This is impossible.
they gotta feel obligated to help you out.
But in view of the material in the literature
It's a mistake.
and the facts disclosed by our investigation,
I don't see how they could refuse.
we recommend immediate and drastic remedial action.
Look, if you want, I'll write to them for you. They can work through me, just pay my bills directly.
You think they do that?
Charlie!
They got a moral obligation, don't you think?
I guess so.
We'll do it now. I'll get some paper.
He has to be wrong. That's all. He's wrong. Charlie. He has to be wrong.
He must have overlooked something.
If we're suffering from a new ailment caused by the radium, it should occur generally throughout the plant.
One would expect.
Several hundred milligrams are in solution at all times in the big vats. Several hundred in the ore. Several hundred in crystallizing.
The entire backyard is filled with tailings.
Radium is present in good amounts all over the property.
If it's the radium, then the incidence of illness should be highest in the laboratory.
No one there is sick.
Then perhaps it's some combination of the radium with the zinc?
Or something peculiar to our plant alone.
Some type of bacteria, perhaps, in the brushes?
It can't be the radium. There are dozens of application points across the country, and none has ever reported anything like this.
The Department of Labor wants to see the report.
Yes, I'm aware.
What do we do? This tears us to pieces. How do we answer them?
They want to see the report? We'll send them this.
1 page.
The most important page.
Drinker will never stand for this.
Drinker works for us. What we do with it is our business. This is a proprietary report.
But the Department of Labor, Arthur.
We just need time, Charlie. Just a little time.
They could shut us down for this.
Scientists, government men, they have no idea what it takes to run a business. Von Sashaki thought advertising was a dirty word. He laughed at the very idea of promotion. I can't tell you how many times I walked into that man's office and he turned a deaf ear to everything I told him. But Charlie, we showed him. We showed him. Look at us. We are the world's largest single supplier of radium, the largest in the world. Do you know what it took for us to get here? Do you think I am going to stand idly by and let our good name be dragged through the mud? Trust me, Charlie.
Dr. Flynn, it's awful nice of you to come all this way.
Not at all, my dear. Not at all.
I told the surgeon he was coming, so he gave me the results of my blood work.
Excellent.
And so?
I must say, Miss Fryer, your blood looks better than mine.
It does?
That's what happens to an old man who smokes. Now tell me, what else seems to be troubling you?
My feet and back, mostly. I've had to wear a brace for a while.
So I see, and this happened before or after you left the company?
After I left. Dr. Neff says it has something to do with the radium plant. I know another girl who died from it. Irene Rudolph?
Oh, yes, terrible thing. Vincent's angina.
What's that?
That's an ulcerated condition of the mouth, my dear.
From the radium?
Oh, no. A poor and unfortunate result of poor dental hygiene. So let this be a lesson to you. Always brush your teeth.
There was something else in the papers about other girls who got sick. One girl I used to work with, she's in the hospital in New York, and the doctors don't know what to do. They never seen anything like it.
Miss Fryer, don't tell me you believe anything in those papers. Those papers are not scientific.
But
reporters are not scientific. They do not follow scientific methods. The reporter writes to sell, not to educate. The scientist is not concerned with what sells. He's concerned with the truth. He undergoes years of painstaking research to arrive at an understanding of intricate natural processes that the average person cannot even begin to comprehend. You would do well to listen to science and ignore the nonsense that is in the papers, because I can tell you right now, radium has nothing to do with what's ailing you.
it doesn't?
Not in the least.
Then what is ailing me?
Poor diet, Miss Fryer. Poor diet.
But Dr. Neff said...
Dr. Neff is a dentist, not a physician. What you have is a vitamin deficiency. You must eat more fresh fruit.
Hard to do in the winter.
And raw meat as well. That will help with the anemia. Cook it if you must, but eat it twice a week at a minimum. No, Miss Fryer. I'm a scientist, and I take a purely scientific interest in this situation. By allowing me to examine you, you are helping me further in my own studies. I thank you. Call me anytime, day or night.
Okay, Dr. Flynn. Thank you.
Happy to be of service, my dear.
Dr. Frederick Flynn, PhD, Physiology, Columbia University. PhD? That's not a real doctor.
My findings, Mr. Rita?
He's seen half a dozen girls that used to work for the plant. Word I hear, he's working for the company.
An objective evaluation, I trust?
The source of my funding has no bearing on my research.
And I let that fella examine me.
I never examined her, per se. It was not a medical examination, per se.
Nevertheless, you were able to offer her some useful advice.
I did my best for her.
Every girl he sees, it's the same thing. Nothing wrong with you.
Your blood is better than mine, he says.
And how are you doing on the rest of the report?
The animal studies I conducted show no adverse effects from the radium. The problem, as you suspected, is one of poor personal hygiene only.
I can't believe somebody would do that. Straight out lie to you like that.
Nothing surprises me.
It's exactly as you said, Catherine. Those people will say anything. They'll do anything.
Except the right thing.
Well, we're going to make him, Catherine. We're going to make sure somebody hears about this.
I am most grateful, Dr. Flynn, but I'm particularly grateful to hear that the young lady you examined is doing so much better.
Never examined her. No. I merely consulted with her.
All the same, she's doing much better. Isn't that so?
From what I could see, she seems to be on the road to recovery.
Excellent.
Here's my statement of fees and expenses.
Mr. Lee will draw you a check.
And so I leave you with this one thought, ladies and gentlemen. We do not have to accept injustices. We can use our power as consumers to influence the practices of those who wish to profit from our patronage. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Wiley. And thank you to the New Jersey's Consumers League for another job well done. This concludes our program for this evening. We don't have much time for questions, but we hope that you will join us next door for light refreshments.
You want anything?
My throat's a little dry.
Oh, can I help you, miss?
I'm here to see Miss Wiley.
You're now a member of the Women's Club.
No, ma'am.
Are you a guest of a member?
No, ma'am, but Miss
then
Wiley.
I'm sure Miss Wiley would be more than happy to see you during her regular business hours.
I'm not leaving till I see Miss Wiley.
It's all right, Mrs. Middleton. It's fine. You must be Miss Fryer.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Young at the health department, she said I should stop by your office. I tried to, but I missed a lot of work lately, and I didn't want to miss no more.
It's okay, no need to apologize. I've been meaning to call on you myself.
Me and Catherine, we wrote to the company about our problems, but we never heard anything back. So then we went to go see a couple of lawyers, but they all said they can't do anything because it's been so long since we left the radium plant. Something about the law won't allow it.
The statute of limitations.
Right. One lawyer, he was willing to sue anyhow, except he wanted $1,000 up front. I already spent everything I saved for my wedding on doctors, dentists, and hospitals, and I still don't know what's wrong exactly. And Tom, that's my fella, he says he just don't care. He wants to get married. But I just wonder, what good would I do to him like this? Miss Wiley, if I could just get some compensation, I could pay off some of my debts, and maybe I wouldn't feel like I was saddling Tom with such a burden. Sorry to rattle on to you about these things, but I'm just so tired of being pushed around.
I don't blame you.
Miss Young at the health department, she said the Consumers League has, what did she say, clout?
I'd like to think so. We've certainly had our share of successes.
Can you help us?
Tell me, Miss Fryer, just how far are you willing to go with this?
Ma'am?
Suppose I do find you a lawyer, one willing to take on your case as a contingency. You wouldn't have to pay unless you won. Would you be willing to sue?
I want my compensation.
Of course you do. Now suppose the company says, here's some money for you, Miss Fryer. Only you are to say nothing what we've agreed to and to tell no one how you got sick.
You mean keep it quiet?
Yes.
That don't seem right.
It isn't. But that's what they'll do. They'll try to buy your silence. And is it for sale, Miss Fryer?
No. No, ma'am, it isn't.
Good.
So will you help us?
I think I can, if you're willing to take a few chances.
Chances?
If you would be willing to set your own need aside, just for the moment, we can put a stop to this company. We can stop them dead in their tracks.
What do I have to do?
We start by putting you on page 1.
Whoa, page 1? You wanted to talk to the newspaper.
Not just one newspaper, many, many newspapers.
Is that really necessary? All we want is for Grace to get her compensation.
Tommy, let her finish.
I understand your concerns, but this company has shown its willingness to go to the extremes to protect itself. I'm afraid we'll have to hit them where it matters most. Their public image. When every newspaper in America tells your story, how you suffered, how you were sorely treated, how the company denied all responsibility. Believe me, Miss Fryer, when that happens, Arthur Reeder will come to the table with his hat in his hands.
All right, Miss Wiley.
I know it's a little frightening.
It's okay. Right now, I'm more angry than I am scared.
Good. You hold on to that anger, Miss Fryer. You are going to need it. Only be sure no one sees it.
Ma'am?
Public sympathy, Miss Fryer. That is our strongest weapon. And the public doesn't have much sympathy for an angry woman.
December 4th, 1927. Jack Youngwood here for the Newark Ledger.
Nancy and Harlan for the New York Graphic,
On the strange case of the Radium Girls.
who claimed they were poisoned at the hands of their employer.
And now seek their day in court.
$250,000?
That's the price tag on their suffering.
$250,000.
Ask me, it's all a sham.
What do you mean? Those girls are very sick.
Sick of working, sure.
Doctors say the Radium Girls have only a year left to live.
Only 1 year to live and 250 grand to spend. What would you do with that kind of money?
What would you do to ease your last suffering days on Earth? What would you do with $250,000?
I buy a wardrobe just like Irene Castle's.
I'd give it all to charity.
Then I'd travel around the world first class with all my friends.
I'd play the stock market.
I'd buy my wife a fur coat and a diamond the size of New Hampshire.
I'd use it to pay off my medical bills and to pay off the mortgage on my house, the one my father took out to pay for my last operation.
Pretty Grace Fryer sits at home,
Suffering bravely through the entire ordeal.
struggling valiantly to keeping up her flagging spirits.
For the sake of her family and friends.
I try to smile, but it hurts to smile. I know if I don't, I'll go crazy.
Tell us, Miss Fryer, how does it feel knowing you have so little time left?
I try not to think about it.
But it must get to you sometimes.
Knowing what you've been through?
And the company is getting fat off your labor?
And all they have to say about it is
No comments! Don't you just want to punch somebody?
Oh no, that won't do no good. I just try to think about how it's gonna be. When justice prevails, then I could do something nice for the folks Maybe send them on a trip. They never did have no honeymoon.
What a fine example of womanhood. We can only inspire to bear our life as noble as this young woman.
Mr. Barry, I must object to this kind of histrionics.
I had nothing to do with that, Mr. Markley.
I've been in this game a long time, Mr. Barry. When I see a case like this, move over the wires. I'm not so naive as to believe a plaintiff's attorney had nothing to do with it.
What's your proposal, Mr. Markley?
$1,500 for each girl.
$1,500?
That's not even a year's wages.
We think it's very generous, considering your case won't survive the statute of limitations.
This is a case in equity, sir. The Chancery Court will come to a different conclusion.
The Chancery Court can't rewrite the law. And the law is clear. 2 years from the date of injury. Your clients are out of time.
2 years from the date the cause of injury is discovered.
Very creative, Mr. Barry. Very clever. I have to admire your imagination, but you have a long way to go before you convince the judge.
And in the meantime, Mr. Markley, the press will continue to take great interest in this story, as well as the company's complete indifference to its workers.
No doubt this will prove to be good press for the Consumers League. And you accuse us of exploiting these girls?
You're the one hiding behind the statute of limitations.
Hiding, Miss Wiley?
Oh, you knew very well the law never anticipated a situation like this. These girls were dying years before anyone knew the cause.
Before anyone knew? Does that include the U.S. Radium Corporation, Miss Wiley? When, or should I say, if this case goes to trial, I only hope that's your opening argument, Mr. Barry. You'll have made our case.
The arrogance of that man.
Tell me again the purpose of these articles, Miss Wiley.
Public sympathy, Mr. Barry. That's the engine of reform.
You are antagonizing the company.
Then the strategy is working.
And what of the girls? How does it help them to read in a dozen different newspapers if they have so little time left to live?
Well, surely you can see the U.S. Radium Corporation cares nothing about the girls that is poison. But the average housewife in Orange does. And so do millions of women across the country. These women shop. They buy watches. Markley can be as smug as he likes, but the Consumers League Association only has one outcome, and he knows it. That's why he was here today.
I only hope you're right, Miss Wiley.
Public sympathy, Mr. Barry. Wait and see.
Dear Miss Schwab, I read about your sad story in the Boston Globe, and I am so sorry for your plight. It's taken this time of rapid advancement that the average worker is overlooked. I would like to share with you girls the key to my own good health. At the age of 92, it is called Christian Science.
Dear Miss Fryer, I read of your woeful situation in the Atlanta Constitution, and I am prepared to offer you a solution. Venacine, a wonder tonic made from all natural ingredients. Venacine will restore your health and vitality. We are prepared to offer you girls a lifetime supply of Venacine in exchange for the exclusive rights to use your pictures in our advertisements.
Dear girl, I read about you in the Billings Gazette. I run 100 head of cattle up here and do very well by myself. I've always longed for a companion, and am well equipped to offer you a comfortable home in your final hours. A girl like you has suffered so much. Don't you think you deserve a few fleeting hours of happiness? Sincerely, your admirer, Leonard F. Watkins. P.S. Enclosed are my pictures.
Look at this, Catherine. This man actually sent us pictures. You all right, Catherine?
Bleeding. Again.
Shall I get the nurse?
It did this before. It'll stop.
Maybe we should go.
No. Don't go.
Don't you need to sleep?
Who can sleep? I never sleep.
Well, you'll sleep tomorrow.
Yeah. Might not wake up.
Of course you'll wake up.
Not if it don't go well. Sometimes you don't come out of it so good. My mother's cousin went to the hospital for her appendix, and she didn't come home again.
Well, you just can't think that way. Look at all this mail, Catherine. Miss Wiley said folks would be on our side, and she sure was right. Look, this one's all the way from California.
What if we don't win?
Of course we'll win.
But what if we don't? My father will lose his house. We'll be on the street too. You'll be on the street too. Your father must owe thousands. How can you stand it, Grace?
Catherine, please.
How can Tom stand it? Don't you ever wonder, Grace? I don't never hear him complain.
Catherine! Once the judge hears our testimony, he's gonna rule for us. All they gotta do is take one good look at us. It'll be over in a day.
Think so?
Sure. When they see the way we look like, we'd be awful hard to ignore, don't you think?
That'll be something then, won't it? To see the look on Mr. Reader's face when we get up on the stand.
Now, you wanna read some more letters?
They didn't have no vanilla, so I got some chocolate.
Took you long
Oh,
enough.
don't get on me. I had 6 people stop me on the way over here. All of them reporters, all of them asking after you.
Waiting for me to die.
No one is waiting for you to die.
It's true. One of them called my mother, asking if I had died. When she said no, he sounded disappointed.
Try to eat a little of this. You'll feel better.
Evening, girls. How about a picture?
For the love of Mike, what are you doing?
We need some pictures on the graphic, exclusive on the girls.
Exclusive, what are you talking about?
$5,000. That's what. That sound good to you, Grace? What do you say? Think you could use $5,000?
I don't understand.
Perhaps you're familiar with Bernard McFadden?
Who, the faith healer?
Herbalist. Mr. Creeder's herbalist. Bernard McFadden patented herbal therapy is just the thing to get these girls back on their feet. And the graphic will pay for it. All we ask is for the exclusive rights from here on out. See for yourself.
You want us to go see Bernard McFadden?
Easy money, huh?
Let me see that.
They're serious, Grace.
The graphic always does business on the up and up.
I don't know.
Grace, how much does your father owe on that house?
I don't know exactly.
And that last hospital bill, it had to be a couple hundred at least.
At least.
Maybe we should think about this.
And all we do is talk to this herbalist fella?
Of course, we'll need a series of features with pictures following the course of the treatment, your illness, recovery, or otherwise, depending on how it goes.
And then you print whatever you want.
Maybe we can add some color. Everybody adds some color.
It don't sound so bad.
Maybe we should talk to Miss Wiley about it.
Miss Wiley, what's it to her? You're the ones with the bills to pay.
It ain't right if we don't talk to Miss Wiley first.
You're a big girl, Grace. Can't you make your own decisions?
Of course I can make my own decisions.
You take it if it came from the company.
The company owes us a lot more than that.
Sure, if you ever see it.
Grace, maybe we should do it.
It just don't feel right.
Look, you gotta talk to them reporters anyhow. Why not get something out of it?
He's right, you know. Why give your story away when people are crazy to read it? Believe me, you girls can cash in big. The day we ran a feature on you, bang.
Sold out of every copy at every newsstand. Everybody can sympathize with the poor, sick girl facing certain death with no hope of fulfillment in motherhood.
I'd like you to go now. My friend is tired. She needs her rest.
Grace, at least think about it.
Sure, think it over. I understand. You're worried about what people will think. But hey, you gotta think about your own interests here. There's no reason why you shouldn't get something out of all of this.
Look out for number one, that's the way. Everyone is out to get what they can. Why set your back up and keep your nose clean when everyone else is up to their elbows in it?
Gentlemen, I've treated a number of the girls who claim they got sick here. One of them, her jaw rotted so bad, I removed it just by lifting the bone out of her mouth. As you can see.
That's all right, Dr. Neff. You could put that away. Oh.
Maybe you'd rather look at it on the x-ray. This was an expensive case to treat, and I never did get no compensation. The girl died. Her family never paid.
I sympathize, Dr. Neff, but what has that to do with us?
Here it is straight. There's gonna be plenty more girls coming out claiming they got sick here. So maybe we can do business. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
I'm not following you.
Suppose you was to give me a list of the girls who worked here. I'd see to it there weren't no more lawsuits.
You think you could cure them?
Oh, I couldn't put out a cure, no. What I'm saying is, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
How so, Dr. Neff?
Well, I'd examine them for radium necrosis, come up with a favorable diagnosis for you. Pyorrhea, say, or something else. Quite a few cases will just die a natural death anyway. And the rest, we can put off till the statute of limitation kicks in, and it's too late to sue.
You'd persuade them that they haven't got a case against the company.
Exactly right. And if it were to come to trial, I could testify it was some other problem. And it would be strong testimony coming from the dentist who treated them.
What makes you so sure these girls will come to you?
They'll come quick if I don't charge them nothing.
Because we'd be paying you.
Exactly right. We understand each other, Mr. Reader.
What exactly are you asking for, Dr. Neff?
I'd need $10,000 for my trouble so far. And for every girl I'd agree to see from here on out. $12 per every visit, plus expenses for the x-rays. I'm suggesting a gentleman's agreement here. Better off it's not in writing.
No.
All right, we'll put it in writing, but...
We'll do nothing of the kind. Your proposal is immoral and will have nothing to do with it.
Immoral, you say? You're a fine one to be talking about morals.
Mr. Lee!
When you got your own hired guns ready to testify...
Those are expert witnesses.
Expert witnesses? Paid lackeys is more like it. And none of them's got the dirt I got. Believe me, there are plenty of other folks interested in this information.
You're threatening me.
Just a business proposition, Mr. Reader. Just looking out for my interests, same way you're looking after yours.
Mr. Lee, see Dr. Neff to the door.
All right, fine. You don't want to play ball. But believe me, when all this shakes out, it won't be me holding the short end of the stick.
Gentlemen, I want you all to make statements on what happened this morning. We'll send them to the State Dental Society. Then Dr. Neff will see who's playing ball and who isn't.
An excellent idea.
I don't know. Perhaps we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss Neff's proposal?
What do you mean?
We're in a very bad situation here, Mr. Reader.
That's true. Mr. Lee says you're having trouble getting girls to work here.
Yes, and we have lost some contracts because of it.
And it's going to get worse.
And the papers are full about stories about those girls.
Making them out to be saints.
And what defense can we put out?
Except to say we'll try our case in court.
In a court of public opinion, we've already lost.
Perhaps we should reconsider. It certainly wouldn't hurt to have a testimony from a dentist who treated those girls.
Neff could be very helpful to us. We should retain him.
Retain him as what? An extortionist?
Now, as an expert.
Like Dr. Flynn.
Dr. Flynn is a highly respected professor at Columbia University. Neff is a neighborhood dentist.
But Dr. Flynn treated some of the girls, didn't he?
He didn't treat them, he consulted with them.
He dispensed medical advice, Arthur.
It wasn't medical advice. It was an expert's opinion. A scientific opinion.
How about this? We retain Neff, but we don't put him on the stand. Just so we can keep him from testifying for the woman.
That's the most important thing.
Would you agree to something like that, Mr. Reader?
Mr. Reader?
Edward, we can't possibly do this. We can't get into bed with a man like Neff.
Arthur's right. We don't want to do business with Neff.
He could hurt us. We have to take steps.
Neff has already given us everything we need. New evidence, gentlemen. This is grounds for postponement.
Well, 3 months? 3 months to study an x-ray? It's outrageous. And the girls, did you see the girls? Their eyes were like saucers looking at me, terrified.
Mr. Barry.
How are they going to hold out 3 more months? Catherine Schwab could barely make it into the courtroom today. And Grace, she was trying so hard not to cry. And of course, I had all the answers. Go home, girls. Get some rest. That's the best I can do. Get some rest.
You're doing wonderfully. It's a very difficult
I don't
case.
understand. People like Markley and Reader, how can he play this kind of game with those poor girls sitting right there?
Well, maybe this will help to explain. I received a
You'd
letter.
think the company would be eager to take care of this. Oh, with the publicity this has gotten. But Markley seems to enjoy the sport of it. What he can get away with, it's cold, very cold.
Mr. Barry,
What's this?
it's from Catherine Drinker, Mrs. Cecil Drinker of Harvard. Well, she's an industrial hygienist also. She worked with Dr. Drinker on a study of the radium plant. It was a joint effort, actually.
It's very interesting, Miss Wiley. We've already seen that document. There's nothing in it to help us.
You've only seen part of it, Mr. Barry. Please, this is the complete report. I received it this morning. Mrs. Drinker has been following our story very closely in the press and was particularly disturbed to read the latest article in the Ledger where Mr. Lee says her study clears the company.
He doctored the report. Reader doctored the report.
Apparently, he pulled out one page listing the blood conditions of a dozen employees and passed it off as a whole thing. Doesn't seem so bad by itself, does it? But in context, it's somewhat a different picture.
We can use this.
Yes, should impress the judge.
Oh, the judge? Miss Wiley, I am not waiting 3 months to make use of this. I want you to call that contact you have the New York World. If Reader will let us present our evidence in the courtroom, then he can read about it in the newspaper. February 12th, 1928. Jack Youngwood here for the Newark Ledger.
Nancy and Harlan for the graphic.
Radium Girls go to court today.
Radium Girls knock on the doors of justice. Will they be heard?
These poor, injured girls face pain.
Disfigurement!
Ruin!
And death. And as the clock ticks away, the precious moments,
A hearing begins in Chancery Court.
where the U.S. corporation demands to postpone it,
Well, plaintiff's attorney Raymond Barry makes a shocking disclosure,
showing that the company lied to the Department of Labor,
showing that it distorted the results of a Harvard study.
concealing the ill effects of its product.
Read all about it in the Ledger.
Read about it in the graphic. We care because you care.
In Dixieland, there's a musical man. He has a good time, just making folks happy. This musical man is a one-man band. Folks have to love him for making them glad. He don't play melodies, just
Very bad?
You didn't read it?
I make a point not to these days.
If only other people would do the same. Mrs. Mitchell from across the street, she walked right past me this morning and didn't say a word to me. I know she saw me. And the women at the market and the greengrocer, the way they glanced at each other. At the club, Mrs. Middleton and the other ladies, the whispers.
Why don't you put that away? Read the journal. I saw it here the other day. Why don't you read that?
At the club today, somebody actually had the nerve to say to me, "Is it true? Is it true," she said. "Did your husband poison those women?" I said, "Mrs. Knowles, if you think it is true, then why speak to me at all? I certainly wouldn't associate with a woman whose husband did such things."
Why do you go there then? If that's the way people are.
I've been a member for years.
What do you want me to say, Diane? I knew we were poisoning people, but we didn't want to stop because we were making too much money. Is that what you want me to say?
I certainly wouldn't want you to say such a thing.
Even if it were true? Or especially if it were true?
Is it true?
Is that what you think?
What would you like me to think?
For God's sakes, Diane, don't you see what's going on? It's Von Sashaki. He is behind all of this. He's jealous of our success, so he's feeding information to the Consumers League so they can railroad us.
Why would the Consumers
Bunch of
League-
radical women, do-gooders. Half of them are Reds probably, socialists. That's what they are. Same thing with that club you belong to.
What?
You women think you would go around and fix the world's problems.
I can't, I'm
while
sorry.
your husbands go out and make a living. You're gonna quit that club.
Quit the
and
club?
Stop talking to that idiot Mrs. Middleton.
You're not
She
making
doesn't
any
know
sense.
anything. None of those women know anything. You don't know anything.
Did you lie to the Department of Labor?
What?
Did you lie?
I didn't lie, just didn't agree with drinkers' results.
Arthur.
I have a fiduciary duty to the company.
I can't listen to this.
Diane, I have documents, I have articles, people with tumors the size of baseballs. Radium therapy, the tumors disappear,
I'm
Diane.
tired. I'm going upstairs.
We save lives. We make lives better. Radium therapy invigorates. You can't possibly think I'm a liar, Diane. You can't really think I would set out to poison people. Can you? Diane,
No,
you think I would ever do anything to hurt you? Or to hurt Harriet?
certainly not.
Then
13 girls have died!
people die every day. The newspapers are full of death notices. Young, old, infants, children younger than Harriet die every day.
But they worked for you!
I also worked other places. I have a report from Columbia University, an expert in industrial hygiene just like Drinker, who says there is no correlation between our plant and those illnesses.
Then what could the cause be?
I don't know, Diane. I really don't know. I've done everything I could to find out. No one knows. Please, say you believe me. If you don't believe me, there's no point to anything.
Artie.
Remember that day I told my father I wasn't going into the ministry? What you said to me that day?
You can do as much good in a boardroom as you can in a church.
You remember?
You think I would forget?
I was such a scared kid, and he was an icon. If it weren't for you, I don't think I could have stood up to
I'm
him.
sure you would have, Artie. I know you would have.
And ever since that day, he's been searching for signs that my soul is lost. You don't think that, do you? That my soul is lost?
You're a good man, Artie.
We save lives, Diane.
You save lives.
It's all for you. You know that, do you? Everything I do, it's always been.
I know.
Please don't let that be another reporter. Don't answer it!
Arthur!
Is that Mr. Lee?
Charlie, for God's sakes!
I just got off the telephone with someone from the Ledger.
This couldn't wait until morning.
I'm sorry. Good evening.
Mr. Lee?
It's Dr. Lehman.
Dan?
He's dead, Arthur.
Charlie, that's not possible. I just saw him last week.
He was just here a month ago for cards. They were just here.
Marlin's already done the autopsy. He says it was a severe anemia.
He's blaming the radium.
The Ledger's gonna run on page 1. I told the reporter we would issue a statement by 8 o'clock. That's when he needs it. So it can run tomorrow.
When are the services?
I'm sorry?
The services.
I don't know.
We'll send flowers, Diane.
Of course, I'll call Louise. Oh, poor Louise. We should go over and see her right now.
I wouldn't do that.
Why ever not?
She's planning to sue.
Luis?
The reporter told me she's filing a wrongful death action. I worked up a statement for the paper. Company chemist for 8 years, always in poor health, recently in decline.
But Dan was never sickly. He was always on the golf course or sailing or their garden, Artie. He kept a beautiful garden.
Let's take care of this in the morning, Charlie.
Of course, I'm sorry to bring you the bad news, Mrs. Reeder. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Lee.
Dan could be a bit, Charlie can be excessive at times. We have to say something. I don't know what we'll say. We have to say something. The shareholders will expect it.
You needn't explain, Artie.
Sometimes it's
It's
necessary.
all right. You needn't explain. We're going to throw this away now.
There's half a case under the sink.
And we'll get rid of that too. We'll have no more of it in the house.
I'll do it. Diane, I meant too far to quit.
I really didn't expect you to.
February 21, 1928, to Raymond Barry from Harrison Martland, medical examiner, Essex County. We have examined the remains of the deceased Amelia Madja, and our study reveals the following. radioactive substances have been found in the lower jaw, the upper jaw, and the lumbar vertebrae. No evidence of syphilis was found.
Body is radioactive.
Bones of dead girl, kick off gamma rays.
Catherine Wiley of Consumers League declares, new evidence shows company lied.
Dr. Joseph Neff, a Newark dentist who treated Amalia, has turned over the portions of the jawbone that he removed from her mouth. The x-ray shows the jawbone was radioactive 5 years after the girl had died.
Will this make your case?
Will this force a settlement?
Make our case? No, this will make our case.
Last night in a graphic exclusive, the founder of the Radium Corporation broke his long silence with this shocking announcement.
Radium is one of the most dangerous substances known to man.
Dr. von Shishaki, is it true you assisted with the autopsy?
Yeah, and given my expertise in radium extraction, I was able to determine that Miss Madge absorbed enough radium to kill 10 people.
Doctor, what does this say for now mild radium therapy? Are you now advising against it?
Radium is responsible for the deaths of these poor girls. It should be considered a most dangerous substance.
Do you agree with the doctor's prognosis that the Radium Girls have only 1 year left to live?
From what I've seen, they'll be lucky to last that long.
I'll tell you what we should have done. We should have took that reporter up on her offer when we had the chance. That's what we should have done.
$5,000. Don't make me laugh.
We should have talked her up, too. Because I'll tell you what, they'd have paid. And I'll tell you what else we should have done.
Stop telling me what we should have done. Lots of things we should have done. It don't do no good to think about them now.
All right, keep your shirt on.
Which do you like, the red or the blue?
So what's Barry say? Is he going to go back to the company?
I like the red, but it don't fit so good these days.
Is he going to try to talk the company up a bit?
Miss Wiley thinks one more interview will do the job, so I say, what's one more, you know?
It's worth a try, don't you think, Grace? What if they came up to 5,000? Would you take it then?
Let him come up. I'm not caving in.
It's called a settlement.
A settlement. It's just a way for them to hide.
Let them hide.
Then they win.
So? They win. They're going to win anyway.
Nice, you got so much confidence in me.
Oh, Grace, for Christ's sake. You got one lawyer who's working for nothing. I'm thinking 6 other lawyers who are getting a bundle, and you think you got a chance?
You know what I found out today? They put LED screens in the laboratory for the technicians. Did they give us LED screens?
Oh,
What do you
Jesus.
think, 100 girls in a room and they're going to spend that kind of money on us?
Grace.
And they want to keep it all quiet.
What are we doing
And
here,
Miss Wiley
Grace?
says they're going to close down here
Grace.
and open up another
Grace.
factory in New York like nothing ever
What are you
happened.
doing here, Grace? I thought the idea was that we get some money to settle your debts, get a better doctor, and we get on with things.
Get on with things?
You're still wearing my ring.
Tommy.
Grace, there's a house for sale in my brother's neighborhood. 2 rooms up, 2 rooms down. It's not much, but it's a start. You'll like it. It's already got flowered wallpaper, and best of all, it's only 3 blocks from the school.
The school? What do we need with the school?
Plan ahead for once?
Tommy, what do you think is going to happen when all of this is over? Do you think everything's just going to go back to the way it was?
Why wouldn't it?
I got to see the surgeon.
Uh-huh.
I got some fluid. He's going to drain it.
Okay.
And then he says there'll be more.
So we deal with it
And
when it
still
comes.
more and more and still more. Why can't you see that? How can you talk about buying houses and getting married when you know there's nothing?
Grace! I can't think about that. I just want for us to be together now. I want to go home to you at night, to my wife, my home. I'm too old to be living like this in-between life. I promise, Grace, I will do whatever I can to make things easier on you.
Here.
Grace, come on.
I should have given it back to you a long time
I
ago.
don't want it.
Tommy, you gonna make me say it?
You just need some rest, that's all. You're not getting enough sleep. I'll be back to see you tomorrow.
Tommy!
You get some sleep!
Tommy! Tommy, don't you do this to me! Tommy!
Arthur,
Ah, Charlie.
aren't you headed home?
Charlie, I've been thinking it over. I think we're taking the wrong approach here. I think we should settle this case. We've got to make a reasonable offer to those girls.
No, Arthur, we agreed. We needed a definitive victory. Otherwise, we invite more of the same nonsense.
Things have changed.
Arthur, I know you and Dan were close, but you can't let that cloud your judgment.
Von Sashaki's going to testify.
We can deal with him.
How?
Put more money in his pocket.
Oh, now you want to bribe him.
Not a bribe. Consideration.
Consideration?
For an expert witness. Whatever Barry is paying him, we'll just make a better offer.
You don't understand guilt, do you, Charlie?
Right now, I don't have the luxury of thinking about it.
Let me tell you something, Charlie. A guilty man has a tremendous need to unburden himself. His guilt can eat him alive. Don't you see? What Von Sashaki wants is to be free. That is why he's testifying for the girls. And that is why he'll never testify for us, no matter how much consideration you offer.
Settle with these girls and you'll have to settle with all the rest. Neff was right about that.
Tell Markley to get in touch with Barry. Get a conversation going. Come up with a figure the girls can accept.
Arthur, for God's sake, what are you trying to do to me? Do you want to wipe me out?
We've got to get this off the table.
Every penny I have put by in the last 7 years, I have sunk into this company. Why? Because of you. Because you said it was a sure thing. No, miss, why work for Von Sashaki when we can work for ourselves? Remember that one? Take a chance, Charlie. Take a chance.
Charlie! We were fooled. Von Sashaki fooled us all. The only thing to do now is try to clean it up as best as we can.
Do this, and it's the end, Arthur.
You're stepping down, Charlie?
Not me.
Well?
Don't you know? They are one vote away from getting rid of you.
And whose vote is that, Charlie?
Arthur, have you so little faith in me?
I'm still a stockholder, Charlie. You don't have enough votes to get me off the board. I'll still be on the board.
And still on the hook if this company goes under. Think about that the next time your conscience starts to bother you.
March 15, 1928, to Raymond Barry, attorney at law, from Edward Markley, counsel, U.S. Radium. One of our expert witnesses has encountered a serious scheduling conflict, which makes it impossible for him to testify in April. We have therefore requested an extension until June. As for the settlement, every case involves some humanitarian aspect. We believe, therefore, that cannot be the basis for settling this war. But I have no doubt that you will be rewarded for the good work you are doing, if not in this world, then in the next.
Tommy, please.
Rise and shine.
Madam Curry?
Time for work.
Am I late? I set the alarm.
We have 5,000 deals to paint before breakfast. Up, up, up. It's all for the war effort.
Oh, but please, I'm so very tired.
No complaining. Good soldiers don't complain.
But I'm dying.
And who isn't?
Get up, Grace.
Irene,
Get up, sleepyhead. You'll never make a quota like this.
it's not fair. I'm 26. I should have my own home by now. I should be married, my own children.
We all have to make sacrifices sometimes.
I know I did.
But why? Why do we have to make sacrifices?
It's all for science, Grace. Science, family, every life is sacrificed to something. Just a matter of choosing which.
I didn't choose. I didn't have no choice.
Sure you did, Grace. Sure you did.
Catherine, don't do that. Catherine?
Oh, look what you did, Grace. She's bleeding all over the dials.
I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have said anything.
No problem. What's one more dead deal painter?
Huh?
Grace,
Mama.
Grace, Mr. Markley will be here any minute.
Mr. Markley?
He's bringing the papers for you to sign. Did you fall asleep?
Has Miss Wiley been by?
Miss Wiley?
About Catherine. She said she would stop by.
She might have.
Don't you know?
Someone came to the door a while ago. I think your brother answered it. Look, Grace, you gotta get ready.
They took Catherine back to the hospital last night.
I know, sweetheart. I know. Once we talk to Mr. Markley, we can head on over to see how Catherine's doing. But for now, put a comb through that hair.
I dreamt she died.
Grace, don't speak such things.
If she dies, it's over.
We're 3 months behind the mortgage, Grace.
I know that.
You can't let this go on.
$1,500.
It's better than nothing, ain't it?
Is that all I am? Better than nothing?
Of course not, sweetheart. But we gotta start being realistic. At the rate things are going, you'll never get inside that courtroom. And even if you do, you can't prove nothing.
Mr. Barry thinks we can.
Well, Mr. Barry ain't paying the bills. We got the doctor, the bank, and the coal man. You can't expect folks to treat us like charity just because you're sick.
I ain't asking for charity, Ma. I just want what's owed to me.
Grace, I know it feels like you're letting Catherine down, but if she decided to take the company's offer, would you hold that against her? No, you wouldn't. Now, we'll get that check, and whatever's left, you and Tom can have. Get you a little something to get you started.
There's nothing to start, Ma.
Why do you have to be so hard on Tommy?
Ma, please don't.
Can't you just see that he can't stand the thought of you not being with us?
I have to face it. Why can't he?
Do something with your hair, Grace.
$250,000. What would you do with $250,000, Miss Fryer? Well, I can hardly imagine. No point to it. New Mexico, huh? They just keep writing. She was here. Miss Wiley was here. Ma, Miss Wiley was here. She left me a note.
Miss Fryer, Edward Markley.
Ma said you brought papers.
Yes, the terms spelled out as we explained in our letter. $1,500 to you. I've got a check right here. All we need is your signature. It's in triplicate.
Grace, Mr. Markley is a very busy man.
Oh, no, I don't mind. If you want, look it over carefully. I can leave it and come back tomorrow.
No, we'll do this now.
What's hold harmless?
You agree to hold the company harmless from any further action.
So no more lawsuits.
Correct.
Is that just me or anybody in my family?
Your entire family. It precludes a wrongful death action, also.
This is a confidential settlement.
Yes.
You didn't say anything about it being confidential.
It's a standard for most legal procedure, Miss Fryer. We like to protect our privacy, and your privacy also. We agree to keep silent about our terms of the agreement, and so do you.
That seems fair.
Need a pen?
I have a question.
Grace, Mr. Markley already explained the settlement to you.
Ma,
I don't mind.
what is contributory negligence, Mr. Markley? It's not in that one. It was in them other papers that you filed when we did the lawsuit. The Radium Company said its defense was the statute of limitations and contributory negligence.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Miss Fryer.
It means it's our fault, don't it?
It's a standard defense, Miss Fryer. I wouldn't take it personally.
How else am I supposed to take it?
Mr. Markley, Grace has had an awful headache all day. Maybe if you just leave those papers, she'll come back and sign them later.
Maybe he could just answer the question.
Why are you doing this?
Why didn't you tell me Miss Wiley was here?
She'd only try to change your mind.
What did she say about Catherine?
Mr. Markley, I'll take the papers.
Ma, what did she say about Catherine?
She said, it don't look good.
Perhaps I should come back later, when Miss Fryer is feeling better.
You didn't answer my question, Mr. Markley. And I'd really like you to answer it, because let me tell you, I quit school at 15. I went to work at the radium plant because my family needed the money. At your factory, they told us what to do, how to do it, when to do it. I was raised to make no trouble, so I didn't make trouble. I did what I was told. I never asked questions. How do you get contributory negligence out of that?
As I said, it's a standard defense.
There's nothing standard about what happened to me.
We deeply regret your situation, but there is no evidence to tie your condition to any actions by the U.S. Radium Corporation.
Then why are you giving me this money?
It's a humanitarian gesture.
A humanitarian gesture.
Mr. Markley, I'll take those papers.
Humanitarian. Month after month, delay after delay, you put us off, knowing how sick we were, how tired and desperate. Humanitarian? You're waiting for us to die.
Grace, please stop this now.
Ma, one by one, I watched my friends get sick and die in the most horrible way. And you expect me to be grateful for any spare change they throw at me?
Ms. Fryer, this is a very generous offer under the circumstances, and I would advise you take it because it won't be on the table very long.
What do you mean?
If Ms. Fryer does not sign within 24 hours, we will be forced to withdraw our offer permanently.
Grace.
He's lying.
Excuse me, miss?
You're telling me that if I don't sign these papers now, but I come back a week from now and said I changed my mind, you'd still rather go to court. You'd still rather some judge get a look at me and take your chances I won't win on sympathy alone? 24 hours? You're just trying to bully me.
I'll take that as a no, and we'll see you in court.
Yes, you will. You will see me. You and Mr. Reader both.
You call that man back.
I'm going to court, Ma.
What are you trying to prove? You know you can't win.
I want them to look at me. I want them to look at me and tell me how it's my fault I got sick working in their factory.
And what will that get you, Grace? What?
Ma, all my life, I've done what other people have told me to do. I quit school because you said I should. I put that paintbrush in my mouth because Mrs. McNeil said I should. I never said, can't I go back to school? I never said, I don't like the taste of this paint, even though I knew, Ma. I knew something wasn't right. At night, I'd lie in bed, and I'd look at my dress hanging in the back of my closet door. All aglow, my shoes on the floor, my hairbrush and comb on the dresser. So much light. So much light. And I never once questioned. I never once asked. Don't you see? They knew I wouldn't. That's what they were counting on.
Oh, Grace.
Arthur, so it is you making all this noise.
I left messages with your housekeeper.
As
I
we are-
know you got the messages.
As we are no longer in business, I thought it best not to respond.
Is that what this is about?
Perhaps a cup of tea will calm your nerves.
You never told us the paint was dangerous. You never said a word about it. Not to me, not to Dan.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. You invented the paint and you didn't know. How can you lie like that?
I did not know until it was too late, Arthur.
I should put you through that wall.
Perhaps you should, but you will not. You will sit down, you will have some tea, and you will calm yourself.
I was not the technical man. You were the technical man.
Yeah, I was the technical man. Sit down, Arthur.
I sold watches for Christ's sakes. I was a salesman.
An excellent one at that. Very good head for the business you have. For the science, not very much, but for the business, very smart. Always you could find ways to cut the cost without losing the quality. That is a gift, Arthur. So, why don't you have some tea?
Jesus Christ, what's the matter with your hands?
It's been that way for some time now.
What, have you been dipping them in ink?
Dipping them in ink? How fond of the pretty story you are. No, if only it were ink. Dr. Martland tells me it's a necrosis of the tissue. The cells, they are dying. With the dial painters, in the jaw it started. With me, in the hands.
I had no idea.
No reason why you should. It's been a while since we've last seen each other.
How long?
But I've known for a while. Miss Wiley from the Consumers League persuaded me to assist Dr. Martland in testing the dial painters for radium exposure. There aren't that many people you know who can do that sort of thing. So she came to me, knowing I had the equipment, and of course the skill. I didn't want to believe for Arthur. I didn't want to believe that the girls could get sick from working with my own paint. So I agreed to help. Dr. Martland and I conducted expired air tests, and it was then that I found out, when my own breath registered radioactive. Then my fingers, they began to turn black. Now, you wish to have words with me?
I'm sorry.
Perhaps you yourself should make an appointment with Dr. Martland.
Me? What for?
You did not knowing the dust glowing on your shoes when you went home at night?
How could I miss it? I tracked it all over the house.
You can be sure that a good deal of it is now in your lungs. Look familiar?
It's our promotional piece.
An excellent promotion. How many new sales did that book account for?
I didn't track it exactly. I'd like to think it helped our medical market quite a bit.
Page 96.
What?
Open it, the last chapter. Read it to me.
The last chapter. Radium. Dangerous effects.
How many articles do you have there? 10? 15?
About 18 it looks like.
And how far back do they go, those articles?
I don't know.
Look at that one. The first one, there. What is the date?
1906.
1906. Now, let me see. You are prepared to testify that you could not have known that radium was dangerous. How do you plan to do that? How do you plan to say that when your own book says that it was?
I never really read it.
What's that?
I never really read it. I hired a man to put it together. I just glanced at the galleys. I never read the book.
Well, how do you mean you never read the book?
It was a standard arrangement. An outside company prepared the piece. They were responsible for the content.
Which you never read.
I think you'll find, Mr. Barry, that most company presidents don't read their own promotions word for word.
It has your name on it. You authorized the book's release, and you had final approval of all the content.
Mr. Lee was responsible for our promotional efforts at the time. I entrusted those activities to him.
Now, Mr. Reader, you testified that you started at the U.S. Radium Corporation in 1918.
Yes, as plant manager.
And you held this position for how long?
4 years.
During those 4 years, how often did you venture into the studio?
Every day.
Every day. So you must have noticed the girls putting the brushes to their lips.
I don't recall.
You're telling me you went into that studio every day and you never saw a single girl put a brush to her mouth?
I said I don't recall it.
You don't recall it. What do you recall, Mr. Reader? You're an awfully young man to have such a faulty memory.
Objection!
I withdraw. No more questions.
Your witness, Mr. Markley.
I have no questions for this witness.
All right, gentlemen, please approach. I'm ready to issue my ruling.
Your Honor, we have yet to make our defense.
I realize that, Mr. Markley, but this proceeding is determined standing. Now, I've heard enough these past 2 days to make that determination. The radium in the bones of these girls is an ongoing source of poison in their systems. Nothing your witnesses can say will change that fact. Will it?
Our witnesses are prepared to testify that the company could not have known about the danger.
Mr. Markley, in the interest of justice, I'm asking that the defense rest without calling any witnesses. We can conclude this hearing today and schedule the case for trial.
All right, Your Honor.
Fine. I therefore rule that the statute of limitations has not been exhausted and that these girls have standing to sue.
Your Honor, one thing. I am a very busy man with 2 other cases pending, and a key witness will not be available until the end of the summer. We can't be available until September.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but our chief expert witness is associated with an institution of higher learning. This is the busiest time of the year for him, and I cannot expect him to appear.
He is the one responsible for that situation. Mr. Markley is demanding continuous delays.
Your Honor, we've agreed to waive our right to present witnesses at this hearing. Surely you will not force us to present our defense without the presence of our key witness.
All right, Mr. Markley. Trial is set for September. This hearing is adjourned.
Edward, why can't Flynn appear?
He's going to Europe.
Europe? But he's known about this for months. Why would he? Oh. Very clever. Edward, how long do you plan to keep this up?
As long as necessary.
Mr. Markley.
Mr. Barry, congratulations. I never believed the court would go for it.
You know full well these girls can wait until September. When is so ill, she can't appear in court.
Our client has a right to make his defense.
We will not wait until September, I promise you that. One way or another, we will find room on that docket. Your expert witness be damned.
That girl is still staring at me.
I wouldn't worry about it.
She thinks this is personal, that I planned this somehow. How do I make her understand I didn't want this to happen?
You don't. You don't make her understand. You don't talk to her.
But she looks like death, Edward.
They all look like death, Arthur.
Grace?
That man, Miss Wiley, he won't look at me. He won't ever look at me. He looks right past me. Like I'm not even there.
It doesn't matter, Grace. He heard you.
June 4th, 1928. Nancy and Harlan here for the New York Graphic.
Jack Youngwood for the Ledger.
Raymond Berry seeks trial date for early summer.
While U.S. Radium Corporation announces a settlement.
A settlement.
$10,000 cash for each girl and $12 a week for life.
$12 a week?
Read all about it in the Ledger, your first source for news.
The company also agrees to pay the medical expenses of every girl for the remainder of their lives. And the girls have also agreed to a periodic examination by a panel of physicians yet to be appointed. Questions?
What led to the settlement?
Is it admission of responsibility?
What about other pending cases?
It was for purely humanitarian reasons that the company agreed to the settlement. We admit no liability whatsoever.
Where does the company go from here?
The U.S. Radium Corporation is pleased to have brought this lengthy litigation to a close, and we look forward to many more years serving its customers and its community. And that's C.B. Lee, President.
Captain Wiley of the New Jersey's Consumers League, our press statement.
Were you pleased with the outcome, Miss Wiley?
Finally, these poor girls received some compensation for their pain and suffering. But more importantly, the issue of radium poisoning has been brought to public awareness.
Thank you, Miss Wiley.
The spelling, by the way, is Wiley with one L and Catherine with a K.
Well, Edward, looks like we're back in business.
What's your game plan?
Didn't I tell you? I have a buyer for the tailings I've been piling up behind the building on Alden Street.
Oh,
Some contractor in Montclair needs a little infill.
that's perfect.
Now, Catherine, this won't do. We can't see your name. There we are. Well, Catherine, today I brought my watercolors. It's such a beautiful day. It's still warm. Too warm for a sweater. Not much of a breeze. A fine day to paint.
Thought I might find you up here.
You were right.
It's quiet up here.
Yep.
Well, I guess if you can rest in peace, this is the place to do it, huh?
I guess so.
What do you call that?
Watercolors. I'm not too good at landscapes, though.
No. It's good, Grace. It's nice.
First thing I bought with the settlement money was some paints. Some watercolors, too.
Big spender.
And then I bought a car.
I didn't know you could drive.
I can't. My brother's gonna teach me. He drove me up here today.
Look, Grace, you want to learn how to drive, I teach you.
You've got other things to worry about now.
You know about that.
Tommy, Orange just isn't that big.
Look, I wanted to tell you myself, Grace. That's why I came looking for you.
It's all right. I'm happy for you. For both of you.
So no hard feelings?
You think I have time for that?
I'm glad things worked out for you, Grace. I mean, are you glad? You don't feel like you backed down too soon, do you?
We didn't back down. They backed down.
Papa?
It was over here.
Oh, not this again.
This is where I saw her that last time.
This is morbid, Papa.
I stood there for a long time. She didn't notice me at first, but then something made her look up.
Oh, my. No wonder Mama won't go on drives with you anymore, if this is how you spend your Sundays.
I saw her looking at me, and I looked away.
Just like at the courthouse that day. He can't bring himself to look at me.
You need to find another hobby. Retirement isn't good for you.
My heart started pounding, Harriet. I never knew what I would say to her if I had the chance. And suddenly, there she was, and I had the chance.
So what'd you say?
It's as if he's afraid to look at me.
I couldn't bring myself to speak.
He's afraid of me.
I had my chance, and I couldn't speak.
Oh, Papa, that was years ago. Why don't you just forget about it? It's not like it was your fault or anything. Nobody knew about things like that then. Science just wasn't as advanced as it is now.
I think back on those days and I try to think, how could it have happened? I remember so clearly climbing the stairs to the studio at Alden Street. At the top of the stairs, those wide, high windows. And the slant of light, the way it hit the floor, the way the floor creaked under my feet, the smell of the place. Chalky, like an old schoolroom. And all those girls, schoolgirls, really, all bent to the task in their plain green smocks, their delicate little hands moving so quickly. No man could work the way those girls did. So careful, so fast. Those brushes flying from the dials to the paint, to the dials to their lips. Try as I might, Harriet, try as I might, I cannot remember their faces. I never saw their faces.
In Dixieland, there's a musical man. He has a good time just making folks happy. This musical man is a one-man band. Folks have to love him for making them glad. He don't play melodies, just plays blue harmonies, just like nobody ever had. He just plays chords